So I want this video to be about the creation of the atoms part 2, or part 2 of the previous video. So I remember last time I was saying that you have a negative mindset and a positive. I would like to I would say update what I said, or touch on what I said. It's not the principle of having the negative mindset that makes us human, what they call it, or human is just a cover-up word to keep us in disoriented perspective, but that's a whole different topic. But I want to go over on, it's not the fact that it's the negative mind that correlates with the positive. It's the darkness that correlates with the light. It's not the positive. It is the positive, don't get me wrong. It does relate to the positive and negative. But to have more in depth and details is mainly about the darkness within you and how you balance it out with the light. That's the main objective, the main goal that we all need to achieve, to have a understanding of balance and not letting the darkness to consume us, as in get mad easily, or let people ruin our day easily, or aggravated, don't feel like being bothered, you nervous, or your nerves bad, whatever, patience, impatience, anything. Learn to create from the roots of it all, understanding its opposition, and then work your way up. It's easier said than done, I know, but if you just to start now, you will see your progression. It's like you created something, and it's undeniable that you are the father or mother of the creation. It's that same feeling, but just from you and nobody else. Something that's unexplainable. Only you have to go in the journey to within. I just had to, touch on that topic when it comes to the positive, and I would say negative mind, but the negative mind don't really get you anywhere but just destruction. Now, when you're speaking into the darkness, living as balance with the light and the darkness, or letting the darkness come first before the light, how to use the darkness for your advantage, because the light is actually is part of the illusion. The eyes, the light that we see, is part of the matronic, let me put it like that, the matronic illusion, because the light that hits our light spectrum is originated from the darkness. So being able to manipulate your mind, it's not manipulating is like a misleading word. Being able to come to realizations that your mind comes from the darkness, but it balances out with the light. Having that realization and understanding it through your emotions is the key to life, to controlling your reality, your inner reality, and it aligning or reflecting back like a projector into this reality, to this holographic, what they call it. Or it's only holographic because, not holographic where you could put your hand through and none of this shit real, not that type of holographic. A holographic more of you think of it and you're attracted with your magnetics, your genetics, and your magnetic traits. How you have, everybody has their own magnetic field, where we naturally attract things, and we are naturally attractors and creators and defenders. It's in our blood. Our body naturally defends germs, viruses, and our minds also does the same thing that our body can do, but we have to put it on a secure mentality. I have like a secure mentality. I wouldn't say secure mentality. You gotta have a backbone. You gotta have a gateway, a back door. Your body could do it, but your mind is what's controlling your body, and then what's controlling your mind is how everything is connected around you, your environment. Keeping the darkness even with the light It's like you controlling the darkness and transmuting it, transversing it, transferring it into light. And the light could do the same thing as the darkness. That's why the yin yang come into fact, into place, into into fruition. But the darkness can also consume you, where you're too much into the darkness, where you're consumed by it and you lost yourself, you lost your mind. And you can lose yourself in the light, being blinded by it. You lose your mind by the light too. Don't forget about that. It's always relations to each other. They kin. It's not like they're not in the same family. They're not going to have the same characteristics. They will have the same characteristics. The only difference is it's coming from the light or dark part of perspective. Like I know I'll be talking a little too, I guess, advanced, or too, like you guys already know. So I'm gonna start trying to breaking my, how can I put it, my thoughts down, instead of one big old giant paragraph and you just have to rewind it and just to understand the shit. I'm gonna start giving examples and lectures, to be honest. But I wouldn't say lecture because I don't like using lecture, because I wasn't the first person to start off with lectures. I like to think off of creation, not copying and pasting things for my own personal desires, because it's not coming from my own energy. It's coming from somebody else's thought form, from their thought form, their perspective, and it's not going to really be coherent with mine because it's not mine. So once you create that light thought form, or working with the darkness, you still will have some type of balance. Like, without the darkness, then people will be able to push you over and call you a pussy and all this shit. Excuse me, I have to burp. Like, just basically calling you a wuss. You don't have that backbone. You don't have that survival instincts, that darkness for that fight or flight. Or are you just gonna stand there and fight? Or are you just gonna run away? This is what we're going through today, though. We're going through a morality era, where people are now finding their morals, and some people are actually losing them and losing themselves in this reality. The morals, let me tell you something. What makes something good and evil is somebody's morals, a lack of morals, or too much of moral. They're just morality. They're just morals. Their morals is what the choices you make. That's not part of the yin yang. That's part of choices. Darkness is part of birthing, the start of a new beginning. That's darkness. Light is creating from the beginning. And how are you creating from the darkness? For future beginnings. Beginnings that's not even thought of yet. Beginnings that's just now coming into fruition, to come to this realm and help us for a better thought form of that certain perspective or creativeness. I'm gonna start talking, like, it's kind of hard for me to stop to calm my words down, like talk at a different tone, frequency, lower frequency. I'm not lower frequency, because I don't like how I describe that. Like baby steps, because you can't tell a baby to walk and they just now getting into this world, or you can't tell a kid to swim if they haven't even experienced the water yet. So I'm trying my best to not keep things so complex and complicated, because I don't want you guys to get complicated. I want you guys to be creators of your complicities, your complications. I want you to get masters of those, so you can master this world, and people around you could feel your energy, your aura. Just you being you. People look at that and want to envy and be you, but you don't give them that. You give them a role of being a leader, being in the leadership role. Soon enough, they will find themselves to be what they truly desire, because now they're coming to a realization that this is coming from an area where I feel like I'm coming to my senses, but unknowingly. You could come to your senses unknowingly because you start to do things that you never knew that you loved, desired. But that's all I got right now. Just have to who's cold? I just have to touch on what I just talked about, the darkness and the light, being a creator within your atoms. Part 2. I'm out.